Happy morning, guys. Today we go with this lighting section in 3DsMax. In the lighting section, you see that over here, there's a panel. Here, we have options. Standard light, photometric, and Arnold light. Normally, what is light? See, when it's dark, we cannot able to see. That we know, isn't it? So light is an energy which is containing tiny particle. It's called a photons. These photons will bounce and then it will decay. It means it may bounce 1 or 2 times, 3, 4 times according to the space, then it will be decayed. So here, the same thing will happen. The light produce the shadows. We'll go with the standard light. The standard light, we have a target spot, target direct, and free spot, free direct, omni, and skylight. Here we are going to do the spot, direct, omni, but all these things work on the standard. Take a light of the omni. Omni means all the direction. Once you click, move it a little bit up to see. So this is a light. It's an omni light. This light, press F9 for render, will work on the particular render setting. You can see the light is hit over here and the shadow hit over here. So go to the other side of the light. F9. You can see the light is coming from here and this area is totally dark because light is only one side. But by default for us, when you place the light over here, the light will come and hit on the ground and it will show something over here. It's not just like dark. That's what we discussed. Light have a bounciness. Light is an energy which is containing the tiny particles called photons. Of course, it has a decay sets. Okay, for this, we need another light from the other side. So creating the another omni over here. Omni 2. Now placing the light little top. Now press render. Okay, now you can see the dark is gone, but this side is too much dark because this light only hit one direction. The other direction, other light, but it is not hit and bounce. No. Okay, now we go to the render settings. Now we can see scanline render, but by default, you'll get the Arnold render, isn't it? By default, it will be in the Arnold render. And we have some other render types. Also, these are all called render engines. So by default, it's a Arnold render. By default, we are in a standard. When you render, you can see only the dark. Because the Arnold renders need Arnold light. So scanline render, we can go with the, go here and scanline render and the standard light. Now we can see. Then we can go for an art render. Then we'll render this. It will show you the interesting errors. So what here we understood is go to the scanline render and standard lights. It will work. Now we are just talking about the standard lights and I'll show you how it works. Go to the front view, target spot, and free spot. Free spot doesn't have any targets and it will work like only it will work on the spot. I delete the omni light just to know how the spotlight works. Can you see a spot 1 and spot 2? in the front view. Okay, I delete one spot. This spot should only hit this place. So more close, like this. Go to the perspective and check the render. Now, this is for a headlight purpose or for the stage shows. Okay, now we go for a direction light. Front view, target direct. You can see it looks like cylindrical light, isn't it? More or less, it is just like a spotlight. But here, it doesn't have any decay sets. It means we go something like this and render. This point and this point, the intensity of the light is same. But what we discussed now, from here, when you put the light, say an example, it's a torch light over here, the intensity is very high, and slowly it will decrease the intensity. Of course, for the torch light, it has a decay set. So here I like to conclude there is a two types of light. One is have a decay sets, another is not having a decay sets. So the spotlight, it has no decay. The first point and last point, the intensity is same. So what kind of a light is it? Yes, it is a sunlight. For sunlight, you can go for a free spot. So whatever the direction we have, the light, it will contain. See, from here, it all same. So there is a three types of light: OB, target direct, no decay, and target spot. Target spot as well as free spot, target direction light and free direction light. Omni, finally we have a skylight. This is like a kind of a doom light. This doom light will give a light of all the areas. But I'm not going to refer this one because for the skylight, we have another method of doing it. Instead of standard light, we can go for a photometric light. Okay, first we'll stay with the standard light. We'll just discuss these things. I deleted these lights. Now, like to import a model. This is a sculpture model. Left view, top view, and perspective view. The box on top of it, just we are placing this. Now, it is aligned, pivot is aligned. Okay. Now, Omni light. Go here, light. We'll start with a standard light with a combination of press F10 for the render settings. Over here, go for a scan line render and then create the Omni light and place it here. And place it somewhere here. Okay, now I keep my camera angle somehow like this. Press F9. Okay, now the light is coming from the here, coming from this direction. And you can see a small yellow color light. It is not a light, actually, reflection of this material. It has a specular, so it is reflecting. By default, the scanline render doesn't have a global illumination. So the light never bounces. If it is bounce, you can see this darkness never happened. Okay, so here overall, what we're seeing is there's only one light. The light is from the right side. So this light is called a key light because the higher intensity light in the scene is called key light. Now go to the material editor. Since we are in a standard light, you can see our material editor is not showing something which we need, isn't it? Yeah, we can see a general and other things are not here. It's fine. And select this material and try to make it as a matte paint or a rough. I need something rough or something matte that you can change this because I don't want the reflection to affect. So the color of stone. Okay. The reflection should be 0. You can see the reflection. The specularity over here is less. Now try to make a render. You can see the other side is zero lights because of no reflection. It's fine. Now select this light, whatever the light is. Go to the modify tab and shows that what light it is and intensity of the light and color. So we need to understand the two factor in the light is intensity, two, and the color. Maybe I change the color into a cyan color. Cyan blue. Now the intensity is high, the color is changed. Okay, the intensity is 2. So we are going to duplicate this light to other side. If you go to the top view, you can see that each light is placed on the 45 and 45 degree. And something is near and something is far. And I'll change the color of, okay, let it be the same color. Change the intensity into 0.5. Perspective and render now. You can see the other side. Also, we have some blend. So we can see the image or the model both side, but it looks like plain. So the other intensity should be a more or less 1. And then render now. Now we can see this highlight should be higher and the left side light should be a lower so that the key light, select this one, this is a key light that you know, intensity multiply by 4 and then F9. Yes, this light is good and this light is less. So we got a key light and then we got another light is called fill light. So we got 2 lights, one is here, another one is here. Normally a key light, fill light, rim light is called a 3-point light. So 3-point light is mostly used for a portrait purpose. So always you have to start with the darkness, then key light. 2 major value for the key light is intensity and then color. So that's what we are facing, like from the 45 degree, we are facing that this is the center of the camera, but maybe we can rotate the camera a little bit. Then fill light. Finally, we can add a rim light. Rim light is nothing but also known as a backlight. I'll give this notes to you. So this is the idea of the light which you are going to do. It is called 3-point light, and we need a key light and fill light and then backlight. Top view, shift and drag to the back view. All 3 lights are point lights. It's not necessarily a point. What is the a rim light exactly doing is it does a rim, a small line in the back. Okay, let me render. But the rim light intensity is very less, so it won't affect over here. So I try to increase the rim light more than the key light. So the rim light will separate the foreground from the character. In the front view, a better I place it in the top exactly, like this, maybe a little back. So you have to render and identify. So this is what it has to separate the light from the background to the character. It is called a rim light. More intensity. Okay, in this particular rim light, when we render with a more intensity like a 9 in a rendering, you can see the rim is happening and also the ground is burning. So instead of that, I delete this point light, go there and create the spotlight so that we can place exactly where we need. So this is the idea of the spotlight. Now intensity, modify, intensity 9. I would like to change the color into red. Why? We can understand where the light is exactly falling down. See, only the top side. Sometimes we need a rim on the left side or the right side, not exactly on the top. Okay, it is a beauty of the, it will give a magnification or a beautiness of the character. Front view, I like to change the both thing, or it's falling on the sides, especially the key light side. So key light is blue and fill light will change into a something else like a yellow. Now render. So we can see the fill is nice and key is nice and the blue need to increase. It's a key light. So increase more intensity to the key light. Yes. So we can see a depth is pausing, the shadow is appearing. So shift and drag, because for the rim, sometimes we can add a two rims. One is for left side, another one is for right side. Sometimes, not every time. Okay, left side. Top view. So that the light will always create the intensity, and then color. The color is just for our understanding. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is selecting the lights and changing the color into a white. By default, all the lights should be a white, isn't it? So let me change the colors of the light into white. So why did the colors? Because to understand where it's falling. And go to the right angle. So we can switch on the save frame, then you can go to the angle. So 1/3 is always a right side, 1/3. Okay, guys. See the shadow here is nice. And then it is not totally dark. So now we can see the rim light very short. So if you want to decrease the intensity, yes, okay, I can do it. So this is the basic idea. This particular render doesn't have any global illumination or final gather. So let me show you something like what is render engine. There's a lots of render engine. Arnold is one type of render engine. V-Ray is one type of render engine. Art, Autodesk Ray Tracer. It's called one of the render engine. All the render engines has a peculiarity. But what I'm interested is global illumination final gather. These two. Actually, the type which you are doing is the 3-point light. We are not going to do with a standard. Okay, we are going to do with the Arnold render, but by default, you can understand how the rim light is helpful for us to separate the background from the foreground. Okay, guys, I'll share this particular notes to try to understand and try to do a 3-point light. You can do a 3-point light with your objects, or I'll send this object, the OBJ file, you can import it. Okay, so you have to do two things. One is save your file as a JPEG and send to me. And second thing is this light setup, print screen and send to me. Screenshot or take a photograph of the light setup, what you're doing, and send to me. So this is the first level of lighting. So two things you need to remember in a rendering. Just set with a scanline render. And second thing, lighting option, go to the standard. Okay, next option we are going to do with the photometric light and Arnold light. We'll do one by one, but please try to understand what is 3-point light setting. So once you're done with that, you can do with your product also. The product which you did, no, Colgate. Yeah, remember, isn't it? Or chocolate. Yeah, you can do it. So this particular portion is very small because it's the introduction of the light. So try to understand this particular thing, whatever we are sharing, and please come back to me if you have any questions. Okay, guys, this is one of the assignments called a 3-point lighting. 3-point lighting with the standard lights. Also, we do the 3-point lighting with the Arnold. Any questions, guys? Please let me know.